Hey, y'all. I am here with Blaine Brawley with the Brawley Agency. And we all know insurance is going crazy.
Hot topic.
Yeah. If you're buying a house, that's one of the first things you've got to check on. So I just wanted to get some of his thoughts on it. And he's a top producer in the area. So, yeah, it's a good source. So rates have been crazy.
Yeah.
Do you see any end in sight on that or relief at all?
So the short answer, relief in the fact that it's going to stabilize. And so what we mean by stabilizing is normally if you're used to seeing a $3,800 to $4,200 a year home insurance rate, it's going to stay about that rate. What we've been seeing lately, before every 6 months, rates are like $600 more expensive than they were before that. And now because loss ratios, which means claims are going down, that basically the rate should more stabilize instead of seeing these historic rates that we've been seeing for the past couple of years, year over year. Hopefully they stabilize. A lot of companies are moving back into spaces that they're not used to being in and they backed out of for a while. But also a lot of companies are requiring higher deductibles and things like that, which is what, if the client has to pay more out of pocket at claim time, insurance companies can help lower their rates and things like that.
Mm-hmm. I know we had discussed previously, just privately, deductibles increasing. Is that still?
So a 2% deductible on a home in DFW is very normal. Still, Houston is actually doing 3%, and things on the coast in Galveston are 5%. So it's just kind of depending on where you're at. Up here in Grayson County, there's a few carriers, and by that I mean 3 that still do a 1%.
Yeah.
But 2% is the normal on wind and hail. 1% for all other perils, or like your fire and your water leaks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think I'm like 2.5.
Yeah. Your agent would know.
Maybe I can't find him. So I know we've had a lot of catastrophic events in the past 3 years. And you had Snowmageddon, then Grayson County had to be re-roofed.
Yep.
And now you have the snowstorms down south. Do outside events affect us?
So the more immediate question or answer is the California fires have to be spread out to everybody. Otherwise,
Yes.
California could not afford insurance.
Yeah.
So just because something happens out of state doesn't directly impact you immediately. Long term, it does.
Yeah.
That money has to come from somewhere, and it's spread out throughout the nation.
That's what, yeah. So it's clarification on those things. Didn't happen to you, you're still going to pay.
Yeah. Because I have a lot of people in El Paso, they're like, why are my rates going up? Nothing ever happens out here. It spreads out. If you're in Texas, you got to spread it out.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, there any insights that you can think of that?
Biggest thing right now is when you're under contract, when you get under contract before you're out of the option period, you need to have realistic quotes from an insurance agent. It doesn't have to be me. It can be your person you used forever. Get them before the option period. Often people underestimate what the insurance is going to cost right now. Mm-hmm. And so that they get out of option period, they get the quote back, they're getting ready to close on their loan, and they find out it's $300 more a month than what was estimated, or something, maybe not that drastic, but it can be in some cases depending on where you're from and what the lender estimated. So before you're out of option period, you need insurance quotes. You don't need to worry about a lot of things. You need to get that one done for sure, though.
Yeah, and a good lender will overestimate insurance and taxes to the best of their ability.
Yes.
So,
yeah, and then also claims to that same effect. It's just like asking about claims, knowing ahead of time. Again, before out of option period, a good insurance agent is going to run those clue reports and claims reports ahead of time so that you can be an educated buyer at that point with what's going on, or, hey, this came up on the clue report. Now we need to ask the seller's agent with what's going on.
That brings up another thing. Newer roofs, less than 5 years old, and coverage and premiums. It does affect it.
Yeah, the short answer, the newer the roof, the lower the premium. And there's not, every carrier has their own algorithms and things like that. So there's not an exact science that I can tell you. Mm-hmm. All I have to do is put the roof age in. But in Texas right now, if it's over 15 years, you're not going to be able to get insurance that you can close on a loan. There's a few that'll do 10 to 15 years old on a roof, but most people want 10 or newer. Okay. But the newer, the better.
Yeah. So if you're in Grayson County, the majority of them have been re-roofed, but
should have been but
is the key word or phrase in there.
More than likely should have been.
Yes. So that just underscores the importance of having a good team with whoever you're doing a transaction with.
Right.
But yeah, that's really all I had, man.
Yeah. Hopefully that helped.
Yeah, for sure. Always appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure. Thank you, sir. I hope y'all got some value out of this. Let me know what you think.